Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are kicking off our coverage of the 2014 college football season, talking right now with Steve from collegefootballwinning.com, and it's not August, it's actually mid-May, but that's what Steve from College Football Winning does all year round. He covers college football. I'm very happy to have him back as a regular guest this year. Steve, thanks for being back with us.
It is great to be back, Peter. Thank you for having me.
All right, now I know you had a great year at your site last year. I think you told me that it was one of your best years ever, which is pretty impressive because all your years are usually pretty good. Give a quick plug for collegefootballwinning.com before we get into our first call for today.
Thank you, Peter. All we do at collegefootballwinning.com is college football betting analysis 365 days a year. I think we are the only such service that offers a 100% money-back guarantee on the entire season. Last year, our formula beat the spread. This is the formula, our algorithmic picks, beat the spread at a rate of 66.18%,
nice,
which is the best that we've had for a full season. Now, truth be told, we were going into week 13. Our formula was beating the spread at a rate of 72%, which was crazy. And we did not change our power ratings. And as a result, we ended up 66.18% against the spread. We just thought we were doing so well, we didn't want to touch a thing. We're not going to make that mistake again. So even though 66.18 is fantastic, we think it's possible to beat that. And we are not going to make the same mistake of not adjusting our power ratings just because we're doing so well. Our lifetime with that formula is 63.04%. So please come and join us. The time to do it is now, which is before the season starts. Get an SBR discount. Just put in as a coupon code SBR10. You get 10% off of any membership that we're currently offering.
Well, the first thing we're going to discuss right now is you wrote an article for SBR Forum called Common College Football Betting Mistakes. And I'm very interested to hear, I mean, there's countless of them, right? but I'm very interested to hear what specifically you think is important to take note of. I can think of the first one right off the bat. The first one is don't bet the number one ranked team in the country every game regardless of the spread. Common college football betting mistake, right?
Yes, that plays in perfectly to what we're talking about here with the most common college. There are, like you said, tons of mistakes to be made in college football betting, just like with any betting. But these are some of the most common that the public just falls right into, is typical traps. Just to start with, it's important to distinguish between odds makers and bookmakers.
Yes.
When you see a power rating, popular in college football, any power rating that you see, that was created by an odds maker, not a bookmaker. So the odds maker gets to live in the theoretical world. The bookmaker, that's the one who actually has to take bets. So they're going to be adjusting their lines based on the betting action to a certain extent. So you get, on the one side, you've got someone who gets to live in the theoretical world, and then you get a group of people, the bookmakers, who have to live in the practical, real money world. So sometimes you see these lines that are posted, and you say, hey, I know what some of these quantitative analysts, the odds makers, think the difference in this game should be. And before the bookmakers have even placed their first bet, you see there's a difference in their line versus what the odds makers have. Why is that? So, okay. Certain teams are more heavily bet because of a bunch of different perceptions from the public, from the betting public. So let's start with conference strength. So if you said greatest, strongest conference in all of college football, I think it's an easy answer for almost anyone. It's the SEC. Year in, year out, at least the past 7-8 years, you would say, oh, the SEC, strongest conference in all of college football. So not trying to get, too smart about this, just saying public perception. So if you looked at 2013 for the SEC, those teams played 56 regular season non-conference games. They beat the spread at just 48.21%, but the public majority was on their side in those games 71.43% of the time. So again, public being trapped into thinking, oh, it's the SEC playing a non-SEC team, no-brainer, right? Take the SEC team. Wrong. That's a trap. Okay, star power. The most famous position in all of football, of course, is the quarterback. Entering 2013, there were 5 quarterbacks that were garnering the most popular attention. Johnny Manziel, A.J. McCarron, Braxton Miller, Teddy Bridgewater, and Taj Boyd. Their teams beat the spread in 2013 at a rate of just 47.69%. But again, the public majority was on their side in all their games 80.3% of the time. So there it is, public falling right into that trap and losing money. Coaching. Okay, you want to bet on the coaching legend. That's what people are saying. Oh, I like the coaching better in this one. Entering 2013, if you had to come up with a top five best coaches in the game, your top five list might have Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, Steve Spurrier, Brian Kelly, and Frank Beamer. Those are certainly five guys worthy of sort of legendary status. Now, if you bet on those coaching legends in 2013, you would have beaten the spread at just 46.03%, while the public majority, once again, was on their side 72.73% of the time. So public falling right into that trap, thinking, here they are, coaching legends. Okay, home field advantage. Bettors, common mistake, bettors will account for home field advantage twice. Over the past 11 seasons, the home team, so the team that's defined as the team playing on their home field, they have won straight up 61.3% of the time in all games past 11 seasons. So there is, a home field advantage is real. But now looking at how that's factored into the point spread, odds makers incorporate that advantage into the point spread. So already on the theoretical level, that's incorporated into the point spread. Then when you see the posted betting line, bookmakers are going to shade that line again because they know that John Q. Public, better, he is going to emphasize home field advantage another time. So it's almost like they're building into their analysis, the public analysis, home field advantage twice. So bookmakers know this. They're going to shade those lines accordingly. So greatest home field advantage. What if I just gave you this list? LSU's Death Valley, the Swamp for Florida, the Big House for Michigan, the house that Rockne built for Notre Dame, and Nebraska's third largest city in Nebraska on game days. A lot of people consider those five amazingly great stadiums to play in. A prohibitive home field advantage for them. Over the past 11 seasons, those five tough places to play, so-called tough places to play, beat the spread at just 45.75%, 11 seasons. So putting that into perspective, the bettor who wagered $110 to win $100 on every one of those games at this point, after 11 seasons, would be down $5,080. Do not fall into that trap. Home field advantage, built in twice. Finally, talent. Avoid the team, this is sort of what you were talking about, reputed to have the most talent. Heading into 2013, popular so-called ESPN insiders thought four of the five most talented teams were Alabama, Texas, LSU, and Georgia. Those four teams, those highly touted as the most talented teams, beat the spread at just 42% in 2013. Yet the public majority, once again, was on their side 75% of the time. So expect inflated lines on those so-called talented teams. So those are basically the five common traps that the average public bettor is going to fall into. So we wrote that article on SBR so that people do not fall into those traps. So go ahead and give it a read.
All right, awesome insights, Steve from collegefootballwinning.com. What a great way to start thinking about the upcoming college football season. Now we're going to talk about the other article that you wrote for SBR Forum, which is some things that you look for in the offseason to indicate betting value one way or another for the upcoming college football season. Thanks so much, Steve.